and welcome to the second special episode for the September edition of the ongoing Great Tribal Warriors of Bharat monthly series. As promised, this episode is going to focus on Baburao Shermake, the Gond King. Very specifically, it's going to focus on his final fight and events that led to his capture. It's quite debatable actually, and that's the reason why I am so excited about it. I hope you too are looking forward to it as much as I am. Before we go in further, a little background or sort of a recap. Chanda had fallen to the British on May 1880, and with that, Nagpur had become a protectorate of the East India Company. Then, with the death of Raghojee III in December 1853, the company administration decided that unlike the previous times, they were not going to allow adoption of an heir. And so, on the 7th of March 1854, Nagpur was annexed. With the annexation, Chanda received her first deputy commissioner. 3 years later, in 1857, the mutiny broke out. Gond kings like Baburao Shermake, who were unhappy with the annexation, saw this as a very good opportunity to fight back and regain their independence. But unfortunately, because of stringent measures, extremely precautionary measures carried out by the company administration in Nagpur, they were not able to capitalize on the opportunity presented by the mutiny. However, Baburao Shermake was not discouraged. Together with the Zamindar of Arpali and Khot Venkatrao, he set up an army of 500 tribal youths named the Jangom Sena and set to work. To know more about the fights, their initial battles with the British, please check out the video links provided in the comments. But let's quickly recap from the last episode, the Battle of Chunj Gondi. Chunj Gondi was where the company administration had its telegraph outpost, and at that point in time, in 1858, it was manned by 3 British employees. When the Jangom Sena attacked, 2 of them were killed on the spot, and the third, by the name Peter, had managed to escape. In this episode, we're going to start off with Peter's escape. What happened afterwards? Peter had managed to reach the Deputy Commissioner's office, and at that time the DC was Captain William Crichton. Crichton was quite shocked at what the Jangom Sena had done, but he was a man of action and he obviously was set to take revenge on it. But before that, he knew that he had to be a little bit strategic. Without the help of the Zamindarin of Ahiri, Chunj Gondi actually came under the estate of the Ahiri, and so he knew that without the support of the Zamindarin, he wouldn't be able to progress much. And so he asked Peter to dress up as a native and carry a letter to Lakshmi Bai requesting her support. Now please note that this Lakshmi Bai is the Zamindari of Ahiri and not the Rani of Jhansi. Right, so Peter, dressed as a native, carried Crichton's message to Lakshmi Bai, the Zamindari of Ahiri. And much to Crichton's relief, Lakshmi Bai actually agreed. However, what the Deputy Commissioner did not know was that Lakshmi Bai was hand in gloves with both Baburao and Venkatrao. So despite this newfound alliance, Crichton couldn't make any success. When he attacked Chanda to take revenge for the Chunj Gondi attack, he was quelled. However, he had no evidence to counter Lakshmi Bai and accuse her of breaking that alliance. So he decided to take another measure, opt for another option actually, and this was the time-tested approach of giving rewards to anybody who would help the company administration. A reward of 1,000 rupees was put on the heads of Baburao and Venkatrao, and Crichton somehow felt very confident that some of the local chiefs would get attracted by this and would come forward to volunteer information. What he was not aware is that these were exactly the chiefs who were supporting financially and materially the Jangom Sena. So there was no way they were going to betray Baburao or Venkatrao. So that plan failed as well. This second failure made Crichton go wild with anger, and now he resorted to threatening Lakshmi Bai, telling her that if she did not support Crichton, then he would deprive her of her estate. At that time, actually, situation was not very good for Ahiri. Having had to spend so much resources supporting the war, people were deprived of food and even the cattle were deprived of fodder. So Lakshmi Bai felt responsible for her subjects, and because of this, she agreed to help Crichton. She showed up in person and gave him assurance both in writing and verbally that she would hand over Babu Rao and Venkat Rao. Pleased at this development, Crichton instantly sent forth food grains and fodder for the cattle. And Lakshmi Bai, upon her return, informed Crichton that she now had Venkat Rao under her arrest. But Lakshmi Bai was a smart woman. She put forth 3 conditions for her to hand over Venkat Rao to Crichton. Condition number 1, he would only be imprisoned and not sentenced to death by hanging. 2, all of Venkat Rao's estates would be handed over to Lakshmi Bai. 3, she needed to be provided an additional amount of 4,000 rupees for the capture of Babu Rao Shedmake. Crichton was also a tough negotiator. He rejected all of this and said that unless she unconditionally handed over Venkat Rao to him, he was going to take strict action against her estate. This was now a deadlock situation. Lakshmi Bai wouldn't budge, neither would Crichton. And as a result, Venkat Rao managed to get out of it. Now, whether Lakshmi Bai released him voluntarily or whether he managed to escape on his own remains a big question mark. But the point is, Crichton did not get control over him. Soon the monsoon set in, making things extremely difficult for all parties involved, the Zamindarin, the Deputy Commissioner and the Jangum Sena. But Babu Rao Shedmake was not the one to simply sit still watching things unfold in sweet time. Even though the strength of his army had now come down to 200, he still kept putting up sporadic fights at strategic military outposts. And this was a source of constant headache for Crichton. But Crichton was also a man of great perseverance. He kept up his threats on Lakshmi Bai. Eventually, it paid off. On the 18th of September, Lakshmi Bai invited both Babu Rao and Venkat Rao for dinner at her home. The moment both showed up, her servants arranged to have them caught by Crichton's men. Babu Rao was caught and arrested, but Venkat Rao managed to escape, and he made his way to Bastar. From there he continued his raids for a few months more until the Raja of Bastar had him arrested and handed him over to Crichton. Pleased at his victory, Crichton rewarded Lakshmi Bai with all the estates of Venkat Rao and at her request just imprisoned him, unlike Babu Rao, to whom he sentenced to death by hanging. Babu Rao was sent to the Chanda Central Jail for his trial. And thus, once again, it was not the best of weapons that helped the British win, but an alliance encouraging betrayal that helped them win. I hope you found this episode informative, and if yes, please do let me know and do hit that subscribe button so that when the next episode, which is going to focus on the roundup of September, is going to come out, you won't miss it. I'll see you soon. Till then, take care.